Eyes in the sky.
Current condition, bulking right now, so starting to feel out, lose my abs. Alright, so that was me when I was all fluffy, and this is me 12 weeks later.
Cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through.
So it's going to be really interesting to see, as time goes on, how I start to lean out and get more definition. So
For you.
Alright, so that's my 12-week transformation, guys. So I lost 10 kgs in those 12 weeks. So I hope that kind of inspires you guys. And now what I want to do is I want to educate you on how I did this and just talk about my cut in general. Firstly, I just want to say, oh my God, I can't believe how fat my face was. My face looked like a balloon. It's crazy. I look like a different person. You get so much more definition, so much more attractive when you're lean. It's ridiculous. Secondly, I just want to say, I can't believe how much body fat I was holding. I actually thought in that footage at the start where I'm like in the mirror, I thought I was actually kind of shredded. I thought like, oh, it's crazy. Anyway, that's my observations. Let's get into the education aspect. So the first and biggest principle when it comes to cutting is energy balance. You need to be in a caloric deficit, meaning you need to be eating less essentially. You need to consume less calories than you burn. So that's what I did throughout this entire cut, and that is the fundamental principle of losing weight. So I track my food on an app called MyFitnessPal, which made life really easy because that way you know exactly how many calories you're eating. If you don't want to do that, then essentially you just need to eat less and eat less junk food because they're higher in calories. If you're curious about my caloric intake during this cut, I started at the start in the footage you can see here at 2,800 calories, and I ended up dropping it down to 2,200 come the end of the cut. I slowly dropped it throughout. So like week 2, I was on like 2,700, week 3, 2,600 kind of jazz. Week 6, I was like 2,400, and then I dropped it to 2,200 from like weeks 9 to 12, and upped my caloric expenditure as well through cardio and exercise. So that brings me to the next point, which is your exercise routine. So for me, I was just running an upper-lower split, prioritizing strength training. I know a lot of people out there say, oh, you got to do high reps, but all this footage you can see here, it's a lot of strength work, as you can see, and that's because it's the most effective thing to do when you're cutting, because you want to maintain all your muscle mass. You're not really going to have the capacity to build new muscle mass. So the biggest focus is on maintaining, and by maintaining, you got to maintain your strength level. So you want to test that all the time and try and make sure you're not losing strength, because then you probably won't be losing muscle. So a lot of people just do high reps and stuff, but that's not good. That's going to make you more catabolic. So definitely recommend strength work. Upper lower split was really good, and then I was doing cardio on my rest days. So the next big factor is your protein intake. So protein is the building blocks of our muscles. You need to make sure you're eating a lot of protein throughout the entire cut, so that way you're going to maintain as much muscle mass as possible. So my protein pretty much stayed the same at around 200 to 230 grams of protein a day. And as you can see in the footage here, these are some of the typical meals I was eating that were always protein dense. So you got like my protein oats in the morning, and then omelets sometimes in the morning, protein pancakes in the morning sometimes, and then always chicken. Chicken, baby! I basically had chicken every day because it's such a lean source of protein. All right, so the next big principle is meal timing. So especially carbohydrate timing. So you want to ensure you eat your carbs pre and post workout predominantly. So that's what I was doing throughout this entire cut, no exceptions. All carbs were kind of consumed in that window. The reason being is carbs are our body's preferred energy source. If we don't burn them, they're more likely to get stored as fat. So I was having my carbs pre-workout so I can have good workouts and smash it. Post-workout's the best time to have carbs because that's when our glycogen gets really depleted after our workouts, and carbs like the bus for like the nutrients nutrients to deliver to the muscles. So you want to have your carbs after your workout in particular, so that way you're getting that quick nutrient delivery to your muscles and you're helping everything rebuild, refueling your glycogen. So that's the critical factor. That's a really important thing, is meal timing, carbs around your workout. Also, you want to avoid heaps of fat after your workout, because fat can actually slow the absorption of nutrients. So a big carby and protein meal after workout. And like I was talking about before, this involves things like protein oats, or like chicken and sweet potato, chicken and rice. They were the kind of things I was having after my workout. Another thing you're probably curious about is what supplements I was running throughout this cut. So I was having protein powder the entire cut. I love protein powder. It makes life so much easier to hit those high protein levels, and it tastes amazing. So I was having protein powder. I was also having branched chain amino acids. They're basically the building blocks of our muscles. So I was having them during my workouts. This is really important when you're cutting, not so much when you're bulking, but when you're cutting, you're more likely to be catabolic. So that's going to help prevent that, especially if you're doing fasted exercise, which I was doing a lot of the time, especially fasted cardio. So definitely recommend that. And I was also having pre-workout, because essentially you just want to have badass workouts that you're going to smash your body. When you're cutting, you generally have a little less energy because you've got less carbs. So pre-workout helps give you that little kick to smash it. And I like to be tinging. That being said, if you can have a good workout without it, then that's fine. You don't need it. But if you do want to have like a kick-ass workout and you think you're feeling a little flat, then pre-workout can be a friend. I was also taking creatine for the first 8 weeks of this cut to help with my strength and stuff, but then I dropped it because I felt like I may have been storing a little extra water weight due to the creatine, so I dropped it for the final 4 weeks. So all the footage you can see now is later on in my cut. And this is when my calories became pretty low, like around 2,400. This is when I started to get really shredded, started to look really good, but this is also when I started to feel pretty poor, because calories, like food, is our energy. And when you're depriving yourself of how much energy your body wants by being in a deficit, then you start to really get taxed by this. That being said, because I was tracking my macros on my fitness pal throughout the entire cut, I was able to do it flexibly, and it was a lifestyle, and it wasn't that detrimental to my lifestyle. I still went out and partied and stuff and had lots of fun times. So that's what I want to preach to you guys, is you can still live life while getting great results. But I'm going to be honest here, I'm a very tunnel vision, all in kind of person. So I was doing it fine until about week 6 to 8, and then I started to notice that my results weren't as good as I was hoping, and I started to plateau a little bit, and that's when I was like, no, I need to look really good for this transformation video. I'm not going to do anything bad. So like I stopped partying, I stopped going out to eat with friends, and I became very tunnel vision. I probably could have got just as good results just by following my fitness pal and just doing it flexibly, but I just became super like all in, one-minded, and just really committed, and just absolutely smashed myself. But that being said, it did help me get these results. So I'm not complaining now, but during the time I wasn't living life to the fullest. But you still can get awesome results while living life to the fullest. And like you can see in the footage, at week 8, I was looking great anyway. It's just to get to that real lower levels of body fat. Like when you're going like sub like 9%, trying to get super shredded, that's when it starts to really take a toll on you. And that's when you have to be a little more committed and probably give up a few more lifestyle activities. But guys, as you can see, I know what I'm doing. I know how to get shredded. Like that was 12 weeks and I've had a massive change. So I do offer online coaching if you want to sign up for that. I'd love to coach you. I've got a really cool system in place now where I can send you the workout via a PDF, but then I also have an interactive website and application on your phone in which you can follow the workouts I set for you. There'll be like grocery lists, a nutrition plan, everything. And I can guarantee you results if you stick to the program I set for you. But anyway, thanks so much for watching.